So guys, let's get into it a little bit. So we went racing this weekend. We went up, and we'll talk about the numbers here. We went up Friday night. What's up, Chase? We went up Friday night to Thunderdome, and watched the finals for their winter series. Scuba, Steve Thacker on here. Most of you guys know him as Scuba also. Scuba Steve. He was in for the running for the championship. It was him and Trevor. So we went up to hang out with him and support him as we do most of the time when we got guys in a points race like that are our track family. So we went up, hung out with Scuba, and Jeremy came up, and we just watched the racing. I don't have a problem with any style racing: carpet, high bite, low bite, no bite, some bite. It doesn't matter to me. But the carpet is different because the line is what you're really looking for, in my opinion, is just having that line, because unless you traction roll or you get into a mess, you're just looking for that shortest line making the fast laps. So just a different way we look at it, a different way of seeing it. So it was good to see, though. We had a really good time, hung out with him. Scuba did win the championship. So he has one more race in the series that they're running up there, the Triple Crown. He has one more race to race up there with the Low C NASCAR. And then his winter indoor season, I believe, will probably be done, the way it sounds. So we got home from there late-ish. Got up early on Saturday and got some stuff done around here. And then I headed down to the Four Crowns. So the Wits 4-crown race at PT's. Most of the guys that are on here, not all, but some or most of the guys that are on here were there. We'll talk a bunch about that, so I'm not going to get too much into that. Great racing, late, and very strategic on Tom's part for the track, and I think it worked out fairly well. It became racy in the end, and we'll kind of talk about how that worked and what's going on. So I think it was a very good day of racing. Kind of a rough day of racing. I think there's a lot of broken shit, but that happens too. You know what I mean? That's part of racing. We'll talk about that as we go. Let me get numbers, guys, real quick, as we always do every week. We're going to give you a little track attendance here. And I got another number just to put up there because of the conversation we had last week. You guys will understand when I get to it. PTs. Remember, PTs just ran 4 classes. 4 classes this week. That is for the 4 crowns. 62 drivers, 144 entries. Guys, that's 4 classes. It can be done. Slideways, another great turnout. 30 on a 83. Thunderdome, 23 on a 35. That was for the high bank. Limestone ran 2 races this weekend, like they do a lot. They ran their RTR stuff and that kind of thing on Friday. That was a 12 and an 18. They ran a bigger race, 18 and a 34 on Saturday. Getting ready for their rubber tire meltdown. We'll talk about that in the races coming up. High side down in Kentucky, 16 on a 34. Dirt Oval up in Michigan, 37 on a 76. Those guys seem to have a pretty good turnout most weeks. I mean, they've really kind of turned it up. So their average is not correct. I'll have to look into that, why it's so off, unless it was off early in the year. But I can count up more than what's there. So evidently the spreadsheet's not working. What's up, Josh? Buzz, what's up? What's up, Mike? Good turnout again at Slideways. Good job down there, Pasley. Lower level, they ended up with 26 on a 54 and 608. I believe their last 10 scale indoor for the winter, 25 on a 69. So really good turnouts on that deal. Good racing this weekend. I did not, 5-star. Where's 5-star? I thought I put him in there. 5-star had a pretty good turnout too. Let me see if I put it up. I did not. 5-star had a pretty good turnout too. I think he was like a 30-something on a 57 or something like that. I think 5-star did have a pretty good turnout too. And Shane and those guys worked their ass off, got that together, in that track. Guys, I believe that track's come around really well. Those of you that have followed it a little bit might know. We've talked about it here for a little bit. Shane put his stuff indoors, and although you don't think about it, and we talked about it last night at PTs, 47 on a 46 cars, 46 drivers, 73 cars for the March Club race at 5-star. That would have been off-road. Yeah, that's off-road number. Let me give the redemption race, 30 on a 55. So 30 on a 55 for 5-star. I just looked it up. So that's pretty good. His track, he's getting it back, guys. It's not gone. There's no problems. It's just the sandy soil is hard for him to work with, and he's trying to understand how to get the best he can out of the system, out of the surface. And I think they finally got it figured out. It sounded like it held together. I've seen a bunch of guys say no tire wear. So I don't mind a little tire wear, guys. I just don't want to put on a new set of tires every round. A little bit of tire wear is no big deal. Kevin says, I heard a huge difference on Shane's track and saw videos, complete 180 and no tire wear. Kudos. Yeah. Yep. That's good. I agree. I think he did a hell of a job. And guys, it just takes time. You guys think dig a hole, do whatever. What's up, Randy? You guys think dig a hole, put the shit in the hole, throw a loop in, grade it with whatever you got, and let's go racing, guys. There's so much more to it. We're working on some videos as a group to try to show a little bit more what we're doing. And if you've never helped a track, I'm challenging you to do that. We'll talk some more later, okay? So that's what's going on with it. Pretty good turnout all the way around. Good, in my opinion, good numbers. Of course, PTs does what PTs does, gives you a great number. And it looks like there's about 237 and 520. Okay? Total this weekend. So another over 500 on the attendance scale for car count. So hell yeah. Just put stakes in the ground and yeah, let her rip. Exactly. Videos I've seen busting his butt, it pays off 100%. Dank says Shane puts in the work. Yes. Guys, I've talked to Shane off and on, and Shane sends me videos. And guys, most track owners, most guys that are into this hobby to own a track and be a sound track, and saying that meaning not just, and no offense to any of this, not just a backyard track where you want people to come to your track. And I'm not saying it as a business, because a lot of them are not a business, and a lot of them are not trying to make a ton of money out of this deal. But the reality of it is, anybody that wants people to come and enjoy their track, they have to work hard at it. I know for a fact that Matt, Caden, Nate, Ryan, Tom, those guys are working hard at Farmer City to get it ready. I know today, and anytime I need them, Jeremy was here today, Scuba was here today, I was here today, and the boys were out helping today. So that's how it is. You work so hard, and people don't understand the amount of work you put in. But it is what it is. No, we're not in the deep end yet. Shane is awesome to work with. Just have fun and let's get it. Yeah, exactly. Althoff, you're 100% correct, buddy. And we're going to talk about the fun in RC again tonight, as we're getting ready to work into some outdoor season. But man, I'm telling you, the fun in RC is where it's at. So with that said, guys, if you've never helped with a track, and I've said this before, go there, especially in the off-road, outdoor season that's coming up. It's really easy to see it happen. Go to that track that you race at the most, or one you don't race at, I don't give a shit, about Wednesday, Thursday, whatever. That is where you see people really working. What you get on Friday night or Saturday to race on, You don't understand how much work it is to put in. Let's not pass up the work that the Crater put in this weekend. 100%. Altoff and the boys up there, they do it every year. They have a day, I'm sure more than one, but they post a day that they're all going to work on the track, repaint, do things like that. They are semi-outdoor track or semi-indoor. I don't know how to put it. They don't race in the winter there because it's cold and they don't have heat in the building, but it is all enclosed. And great facility, stupid fast. And yes, that place takes a lot of work also to keep what it is. And I seen they had a small Harley rake out there tearing it up and making things happen. You know what I mean? They get it done. Always doing work, always improving. Yeah, you have to, Dank. Also, the Crater Nation had so much fun grinding out the new flat surface. Yeah. Ryan says those guys have, speaking of the Crater, Ryan says those guys have really built the track up the last couple of years. They go after it hard. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I was up there 2 years ago, I think it's been. And we'll try to make it back this year. We'll see how it goes. But there's so many tracks I want to hit. But I just go and see how things work. And those boys get it done. So hats off to them too. And they build a hell of a following. They're kind of like Attitude, in my opinion. They're kind of the way Attitude is. They kind of have their own group, and that's their place to race. Attitude's the same way. Now, they'll travel. Don't get me wrong. I've seen Altoff and those guys out all over traveling. Don't get me wrong that they won't, but they really enjoy the Crater, and it's a special surface without a doubt, and a special design. So, getting back to it though, guys, there's so much work done on the backside that nobody sees. Like, you go to PTs, you think PTs is done that way? You think Paul and Tom are not working on that track? Tom is there a ton. You know what I mean? And he'll admit it that he's pretty anal about it. Shane says we've got a long way to go. Yeah, Shane, every one of us do, buddy. Don't put yourself down. You know? Don't think you're in the bottom of the barrel, buddy. You're working the right direction. Keep on working on it. Kevin says, and Matt Stagger, racer by Saturday, slingshot model on Sunday, and Caden spends all day supporting and racing, damn near last out the door both nights, working on Farmer City with their group today. Yep. I got pictures from those guys today too about their track. It's coming around. They have they got the walls in today, so that they're going up. And man, Farmer City is going to be a different track for you guys this year. Everybody that's raced there before should try it again just to see how it is. You know what I mean? See what's going on, and they're getting things cleaned up, taken care of, and it'll be essentially a completely revamped setup. So make sure you do that. Yeah, Shane. Dank says to Shane, but you've come so far real quick. Yes. And then Kevin also says putting in work and it doesn't go unnoticed. Guys, there's a lot of tracks out there. You know what I mean? There's a lot of tracks out there in this coming up season, which we're going to talk about the outdoor season coming up because indoors kind of tapering off pretty quick. But there's so many different surfaces you can run on, guys. That's what we really enjoy. I think that's probably the biggest thing to me. Matt says, throw your setup sheets away, boys. 100%. I was down there when they roughed that track in, and yes, throw your shit away. It's done. Your setup, whatever you used to run at Farmer City, toss it. It's done. Okay? It is not, it will do you zero good now. Okay? Yeah. It's going to be different. They put new walls, different style walls up. Them walls that they're putting up are very common now, or getting more common, I guess I should say. We put walls up today, and ours are not common. Ours are completely different. So, but hey, that's me. I'm different. I don't follow the rules real well. But there's so many different surfaces, so many different tracks to race on, and the Indiana group, you guys are getting it. Don't think that's a joke. Same way with Missouri. Missouri, they're starting to get more traction, more stuff to get around. I seen Lead Belt put out, these are the classes we're going to run on Friday, and these are the classes we are going to run on Saturdays. And I like that idea that you know already. What's up, Rick Taylor? Cobblestone walls? Yeah. Prepare for battle? Yeah. They might as well be cobblestone. You wait. So, but yeah, so that's what's up, guys. There's a ton of stuff coming. Outdoor tracks are getting repaired. There is a shit ton of people out there getting work done that people don't even know about. There's a ton of people out there just working behind the scenes, working after they get off work all day, working on the weekends, racing, as Matt and Caden both raced last night. I was over there with them. They were both racing all night long, turn around and come back out to work on their track on Sunday. That's what you have to do if you love this hobby enough to do it. While racers are sitting at home fixing their stuff that they totally destroyed last night, these guys now put that stuff aside and start track prep problems, track prep work, and that's the way it is. Little A. Crap Day Racing celebrating by eating some Big Archer burgers. Hey, there you go. Yeah, I didn't. So that's just the difference, guys. So make sure if you see a track owner, whether it's your indoor track or your outdoor track, if it's your carpet track owners, they run into shit. They don't have to do surface as much as we do, except for vacuum. As far as I know, I've never done carpet, so I couldn't tell you that. You know, like I've never been around somebody prepping it. I assume it's a lot of vacuuming and cleaning the carpet to get it ready for the next week. But you know, there's still stuff on the backside that they're trying to handle to get ready to go. So make sure you thank your track owners, guys, and go out of your way to do it. Go out of your way and say, hey man, thanks for giving us a place to race, because you guys have a bunch of very expensive toy cars that you couldn't do a fucking thing with if you didn't. 4 Crowns. Let's get on that. Guys, we went down, like I said, we went down to 4 Crowns and watched that race. Seating round, 2 heats and a main. Early on, 2 adjustable arms, both sides, and bent hinge fins. Well, ain't too bad. Good thing you wasn't a PTs, Rick. Kelly Jonas, nice to meet you. Oh yeah, Kelly. Let's go. Yep, good seeing you too. Met a few new people last night, so I was meaning to get to some more, but I didn't. I didn't get around to it. I seen a couple of guys, some of the Iowa guys. I did get to talk to Rob, but Jimmy, I was going to run over at the very end of the night, but I was busy too, so I didn't get to talk to you. But yeah, there's a few of us. There's a few guys that I got to meet, or at least see race that have been on here, and I know their names. I heard them, and I got to see them race, so that's pretty cool. That's what I enjoy. Just like Kelly said, I enjoy just hanging out and talking and bullshitting with people. But at 4 Crowns, so it was very fast early, up high for the seating rounds. And then Tom started working on it. Started getting some water in the lower side and not so much in the high side. And by the time it was ready for heats, the bottom started coming in. And then by the A mains, I think the bottom was probably where it is in some of them. I know Danta was really good on the bottom in the sprint car race, the sprint car A main, to get away from Jared, to hold him off the money. But good racing, guys. A lot of guys tore shit up, though. I mean, it was, I don't know how many times people hit pit road exit into turn 1, or pit road front wall. Man, there was a lot of wrecks. What's up, Caden? Dude Wipes in here. And also the foreman on Sundays while modeling his slingshot. So what are you telling me, Caden? Matt was foreman, not a laborer today? What's that supposed to mean, Smith? But there is a ton of people getting hit in the front end, man. It is. The front stretch got smoked. But hey, it is what it is. If you're going to run up there, there's a chance you're going to get it. I've got 2 openings on my pit road. If you run high out of 4 here, you're probably going to get it. The other side, you're probably not. I got it pretty well. Well, going into 1, you can stay pretty high. But early exits of the track, oh yeah, I bet. Yeah, 743, the early exits of the track. Yeah, it was good. I mean, it's part of racing. In all honesty, if you're gonna get up there, that's how it is. You know what I mean? You have a chance of not making it around the next trip. But I seen so many leave the park. There was a lot. The track they had done some stuff to the track to get the track. The banking was different this time, in my opinion. The wall seemed to be very short in spots. But hey, it's what it is. You know what you're running on. A lot of grip. It was almost too fast, Cuz says. I don't know that I disagree with that. But I think he slowed it down some. And I didn't look at numbers, but I think he did slow it down some coming into the mains. Sorry, guys. Got eyeball itching. They made it challenging. Watering different lanes made the groove move all over the place every half hour or so. Took away more steering input than any track I've raced on. Yeah. Ryan, 100%. I agree with what you said there. I think, and I learned a ton last night, guys. That's why I go. I go to help where I can, and I also go to learn what I can. So when I say that, I mean I am going down like there. I watched how Tom watered it, and everybody was up top. So then he started watering the bottom and not the top. So when that happened, it started crumbing the bottom a little bit, and then it would push some of that up, and the top would get a little slower. Is how I seen it from the guys that marshaled when they blew it off. It seemed like it would crumb some, push it up there, slow the top down a little bit. And in the same sentence, it's packing the bottom and giving moisture to the bottom where it gets a little faster. But if you seen the bottom was too fast, he water middle to middle high. It's all about how he. But guys, don't think that you're gonna be at a track next week. Oh, leftover cookies, Mama. Thank you. It's blueberry. Don't think that you're going to get a track and you're going to understand what you need to do exactly on the first hit, because Tom and those guys have been doing that forever and understanding how that works. Trying it, it works. It doesn't work. Try this. It does, doesn't. You know what I mean? Yeah. Ain't no problem. Yeah. They were at PT's last night. Rick should have been there. If you're trying to rip the very top of 4, you have to cheat the exit or you're cheating death. Yeah. With the high-speed fly over the pits. Man, you ain't kidding. It was bad. But, hey, man, that's part of the game. So, do what you do. I don't care. You know what I mean? I like the fact that there is so much. I like the fact that you have to drive differently when you go to a track that you've been to 50 times, 100 times in your career. I know you haven't been there that many times this year because PT's kept their schedule way back, which I think is amazing that they did that. And I think that helped them. But that's where it is. Can I make the specific tire fast all night? It took more skill than setup. Yeah. But that's them doing their thing. That's their track owners, right? Understanding their surface more. Now, when you come here this year, we just talked about it today, and we're going to play around with watering different areas just to see how it does. Now, normally here at our track, we usually just water the whole thing kind of together, but we're going to see how it does. We're going to try to play around with that a little bit early in the season and then see how it works, just to try to change stuff up. Kevin's blaming that. Okay. Kevin did pretty good. So, guys, I think there was an I main. So, guys were in the I main. Everybody, you know what I mean? Like, guys you didn't think should be back there were back there playing alphabet soup, get up there at the front. So, it was good. I think it was pretty good racing. I think it could have been better. I think What's up, Wolfman? Wolfie was there. I think some guys might have ran out of talent early. And no, I'm not bagging on you guys. Whoever was in there that maybe have never ran mod until, oh, I want to run this race, and I usually run 13.5, or I usually, don't run this class at all, and I bought a car to do it. Guys, some of you guys just honestly ran out of talent. It happens. Don't feel bad. Shit happens. Here's another question, though. Well, we'll wait for the question of the week for that. So anyway, so 4 Crowns really good. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Witt's crew. Thank you, PTs. I knew that kind of race could happen. I knew we could have that kind of number with only 4 classes. I talked about it I want to call it With a Purpose, for nothing but purpose-built cars. I would have ran 6 classes, but it just proves if you put a good facility with a good sponsor, with a good group promoting it, you will get a good number. But you have to have all that shit in line. You can't dilly-dally with the other stuff, and you have to have something that the racers believe in. Because if you don't have what the racers believe in, they're done. They're going to push you. Couldn't have done it without PTs and Wits and the group that showed up to race. Right. Yep. 100%, Kevin. I mean, you are Wits, so your middle initial, it's Wits. They're a given. But yes, PTs and obviously all the racers, every one of you, is the reason why that kind of show turns out like that. My wife was ready to go home. I understand. She didn't get there till late. I got there, 11:30, something like that. The kids come in, hung out for a little bit, and dropped me off, and I just hung out the track all day. And then she came down after the baby went to, after her mom got off work or something, the baby left, so she came down to pick me up. And she's ready to go home. And I said, babe, we're in the A mains. And normally when you say you're in the A mains, you've got 8 races left or 10 races left. No, you had 4. That's all we had was 4 left because there's only 4 classes. So it just proves that you can do that without a problem. You know what I mean? You can make it happen. You just have to work hard at it. Matt gave us some good motors that stood up to the abuse and plenty of power. It was full rip at times. Yeah, that's Ridgeway was Ridgeway can make stuff happen too, man. He's I like Ridgeway a bunch. So LOL, Clue Connors has trusted me to represent the brand and try my hardest to make the best decisions. Yeah. Prove that you ain't the same person, Kevin. I need a picture of you two standing together to prove it. Matt Ridgway's a beast with those motors. Yeah, he does. Ridgway does a hell of a job. And he listens, which is a big part of it. So, all in all, good weekend. Great turnout for PTs. I love to see that. I love to see that Slideways had a really good turnout. He's Batman. The other side of it is Slideways, man, I just wish you guys was about an hour closer. But I understand you're not. But it's a good time to come down when I can and hang out and see how that, you guys put on a hell of a show too. And I have a photo of him at Bullhead Concrete Oval with his fleet Saturday night. Thank you. All right, I got a copy. Damn it. Nobody will ever see that, just so you all know. Yeah. Ever see them the same? You don't. So, but man, Slideways is another one. We talk about PTs because I go there a lot because it's close for me. There is a whole nother portion. I got it already. Get out of here. You got backup. You got a whole production crew behind you, Kevin. I don't want to hear none of that. Slideways has a whole nother group and damn fast group of guys that are down there doing the same thing. and they have a great following down there too. It's just a different, what's up, Dennis? It's just a different, it's just like everything. There's a dividing line. Guys want to go south, guys want to go north. Or guys don't want to go that far south, but they'll go some south. So I'm really proud to say that we are in an area that can support two badass indoor tracks for the winter, because there's that many guys to do it. Now, we all understand that in the wintertime there's only a few tracks to go to, but the ones that you can go to are damn good no matter what. The only reason I'm talking about this is because the outdoor season's getting ready to start, guys, and you're going to have 10 to choose from. Icebreaker in Missouri also pulled like 225 pluses. Oh, okay. I didn't know there was another icebreaker race. Yeah, well, that's cool too. Oh, I was going to look him up too. Hang on just a second. So anyways, what I'm saying is outdoor season in some areas have already started, but the reality of it, most of the indoor stuff is going away this year, or is getting ready to slow down or close for the year. And outdoors coming. So we have to be ready for that. Kansas City. Oh, okay. Yeah, I seen Taylor Park at 109 too. 70 drivers, 109 entries. Taylor Park's first weekend. So congratulations to those guys out there breaking in early into the outdoor season with 109 cars. That's a good turnout out there too. So, but anyway, so guys, thank you, indoor. Thank you, indoor tracks, all of you, for keeping us somewhere to race this winter. It ain't over. I know there's a few more left. Unfortunately, I'm over indoor for the year. I have too much to get done here to get ready for my outdoor season, and I'm ready for outdoor season, guys. A lot of, I got to say, it was good to see late last night that Cheaters Corner over there in Turn 2 at PT's was kind of on fire. A lot of guys having a really good time. That was good to see. The more laid back, enjoyable time, that was good to see. But man, there was some stiff competition, and you could really see it in how some of it went. So that's mine for the week. One left then outdoors, Kevin says. Yeah. I don't think I'll be down for King of the Wings. I just got too much to do. And that's a 2-day show. We'll probably talk about it in the next couple of weeks. Those of you that haven't been on PT's page and you run a wing car, make sure you go check it out. King of the Wings is coming. What else? Top of the week. Let's talk about this. And this came up last night. That's why we're going to talk about it. It might be the only topic we have tonight. The fact that we can race year-round keeps this sport healthy in the Midwest. 100%, Ryan. We were just talking about this today here. You can go... You don't have to change your discipline that much to go racing all year round here. If you are a loose dirt guy, you can race loose dirt most of the year around. Right here in the Midwest without a problem. If you want the change, you can be loose dirt in the summer. You can then turn and go high bite, clay, high bite dirt, what do you want to call it? Or you can go carpet racing. There's just options that people don't even think about. You know what I mean? So you can go to limestone, get high bite, which is just another form of dirt, right? But definitely different. You can go to Darlington, or you can go to 608, depending on where you're at. You can go to Thunderdome, and you can get carpet. You can also get kind of high bite-ish, in my opinion, from what I've seen at Brick House. They're kind of medium high bite, if that's what you're into there. Shane's working on one where you're going to be able to run loose dirt in Indiana in the winter again. It'll be looser, I think. So that's how that's all working together. I think that's good. If you want a break, you can have a break, but you don't have to. Tommy says, looking forward to racing on dirt again. I've been racing 1RC all winter. Yeah. So you've been up at High Road primarily, I assume, running 1RC again. That's where we'll be this weekend, guys. We will be at the Foam Oval Nationals running foam pads is what you race on, but 1RC cars. So we'll be up there with Dave and the RC Underground crew and getting that done. That should be a really good show. We'll get into that here in just a few minutes with the races coming up. Question of the week real quick, though. Well, it might not be quick. Who gives a shit? Why, those of you that have been racing with the guys at PTs, for sure, I've seen a little bit of it, a little bit when I was at Slideways, but not as much. Why is it so rough? Like, a lot of guys were talking about it last night. Like, it seems like since the Chili Bowl, the racing has been way, 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 way more take and not so much give. Running up under somebody, running through somebody, not giving a lane. The faster guy's coming. I'm not saying you got to get out of the way, but you're not giving him room to get around you when he's clearly way faster than you, and you might be even a lap car. It just seems like things have just been so rough, maybe more, I don't want to say out of control, but somewhat, since the Chili Bowl. Is anybody got any insight to that? What's everybody think of that? And do you agree with me? I mean, if you disagree, put it in the comments. I'm not going to chew your head off. That's why we're here to talk about it. What do you guys think? Have you seen that? Wherever you're racing, have you seen, as the season has went on, has the give and take got more give or more take and not as much give? That's what we've seen. That's what a group has seen, that a lot of them. What's up, Danta? Good job last night, buddy. Way to hold him off. Points. Thanks says yes, very much so, and he ain't even around here. Points need them points for starting spots in the mains. I'd like to see them try IFMAR a few times and see how that sorts out. We're doing IFMAR dance, and I think that's part of the reason I like that too. I don't know. I think that probably needs to be for some reason, everybody's on the race points fucking kick. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's right or wrong, and I'm not telling any track owner that they're dumb for doing it. I'm not on that kick yet. I'm not saying I'm not going to be on that kick, but I'm not there. So I agree. Maybe there needs to be something, but I don't know. I can't tell you what's the best way. We've talked about it tons, but agreed, Dan. So maybe that's where I see it more. Dank says very much so. Dank's up north, so he's not even where we're racing. He's somewhere else saying the same thing. Ryan says, I messed up and smoked Wolfman last night. We were next to each other. I stopped and said, sorry. Didn't see much of that respect last night. The issue is race points. Hey, man, you deserved it. Good job. Way to hold them off. Way to get down on the bottom. He's got foam tire stuff on him, huh? Taylor says, I've seen people driving over their heads and going faster and being totally out of control. Yeah. Kevin's talking to Danta about a nice run last night, Mr. TQ and win. Rob said, Wolfman says, if the front car bobbles and the guy following has a line, but the front guy won't own his mistake and wants to defend that spot. Yeah, and that's probably where it is. You know what I mean? I don't know, but it just seems like there's so much more pressure for people to not own that mistake, right? Is that what it is? Rogue, what's up, Joe? One of the sponsors, Rogue Race Concepts, guys. Get a hold of Joe for what you need. If he can help you in any way, get a hold of him and get some work done with Joe. He's doing some 3D printing for me right now, and helped me design some stuff actually for my work. So yell at Joe if you guys need something. As far as PTs goes, I think there's been an influx of new drivers this year, and yet to learn the etiquette. I don't disagree with that. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, there is a big influx of new people, which is great. How do we teach that etiquette soon? You know what I mean? How do we get people to understand that, hey, this is how it is? It's tough, but that's something that probably as a community we need to work on. Kevin says, let's be honest, we are always to this point every year. I think you're right, Kevin. I think late in the season, people start getting that way. You know what's funny, though? Outdoor last year, and I'm just speaking for my track, guys, because I honestly didn't follow enough of the other tracks last year in person. Like, I didn't go to a bunch of the in-person to the tracks, but outdoor just didn't seem like it was as much that way. And it might be an indoor thing, being that just in saying that everybody's cooped up all winter. You know what I mean? We're all inside. We can't go outside. We can't hang out outside. Maybe that's part of it. But my last race of the year, the Fall Brawl, was my biggest race, and goddamn was it a good time, right? So I don't know. Maybe that's what it was. I don't know, but I agree with you, Kevin. In the wintertime, it seems like we're all ready, and it gets to that point. What's up, Mike? Mike Hook says, haven't seen much of that at Go Fast, at least not in the purpose-built classes. Okay. Yeah, well, that's good. That's a great thing. Rick says, points races cause people's brain to shut down because they are going to get them points. Hell, if you want the points, you got, yeah. Yep, I think points racing, I don't think it hurts it, but you know, you as a promoter or a track owner, you have to remind people sometime. Hook, do you guys run IFMAR over there, or are you running race points? Just for context, please, if you would. Hank says, I think people get cooped up and angry on smaller tracks. They're getting more and more aggressive, laugh traffic racing leaders. Yeah, I agree. Weasel says, if the race director doesn't call it out, the racers will take advantage. No penalties, drive through guys, and it needs to be penalized for rough driving. I really don't disagree with that, Weasel, but I think you need to set that at the beginning of the season. I think if you set at the beginning of the season saying, hey guys, we're not going to tolerate that, and set up a penalty at that time, then maybe that's where you're at. Maybe put them in a penalty box. I don't know. Let's build a hockey penalty box. Wolfie says, bank tracks breed this rough driving. Everyone motors up, yeah, and gets out of control. I think they do. I think they're behind the car. And we've talked about that before, right? Me with the drag racing background, a lot of guys that are newer get into that and they get behind the car. They cannot see what's coming up before or as it's happening. They're reacting a half a second too slow, and now we have complete chaos, right? Because they put too much in them. Kevin talking about Joe's comment about the influx of new people. He says, I agree and disagree. I see more new guys coming in showing more etiquette. It's a matter of everyone's been racing each other all winter. Some mistakes have been made by this point of the season and are just getting pushed aside by some. I think what happens also with that is some people, there might have been something happened 3 weeks ago and you're racing at the same track with the same guy. And then now you're like, well, guess what? This race means more. I'm putting him in a dingweeds now. You know what I mean? Wolfman said, I had no issues. We were racing close, talking to Ryan about Ryan taking him out the other night. Last night we were all racing at different skill levels on the track. None of us had seen in the configuration. Closing speeds and abilities to move caused some of it. Yeah, I agree. I think there was some guys that were in 13.5 2 weeks ago. Now they're in a mod car trying to make it happen, which is fine, guys. Everybody has to step in at some point, but I agree. I don't think they understand the closing rate on some of these cars, and they flat run out of talent. I don't know what to say. What's up, Jake? Jake Howard says, it's both the race format and the track being so fast. If you can't go anywhere and stick, so motor up and hammer down. Right. Most outdoor tracks have a narrow groove. It can be you can just blast it in and hope it sticks. Track points, no drops. Okay. Hook says, yeah, I agree. That track was fast. 100% it was fast. I think an outdoor track changes differently than an indoor track because of the elements, right? So I think that's a big part of it. But yeah, outdoor is just different. And no offense to indoor, love you all. Just different. Different mentality maybe. And maybe you're right, exactly what you're saying, Jake. But I mean, I'll own it. I got into the back of someone last night in the lower mains. And normally I give a blip of courtesy and my mistake. But given past races, I chose to go the same route as other drivers, not saying it was right. Thank you for sitting down on my couch with me, Kevin. The bill is in the mail for therapy. But yeah, I agree. That's exactly it. You know what I mean? It happens, man. Rogue says Tyler and I got together. He gave the spot back. I thought it was a racing deal, not all on him. It wasn't necessary, but definitely noticed. Joe, you and Tyler are both damn good dudes. So that does not surprise me at all from either one of you. You guys both understand how racing is. Tyler is a super nice guy. I think he was told last night he's too nice, or at some point he was too nice of a racer. I don't really believe that. I think Tyler knows what's right and what's wrong, and I think you do too. And 100%, I think you would have probably done the same thing. You know what I mean? If the shoes were on the other feet. But yeah, 100%. Ryan says, I'll weigh the same banner. I always do. Formats with more than one round of heats. Seating rounds sucks and a waste of time. Seating rounds wadded up a lot of shit. But yeah. Your boy, Randy. I'll let Joe answer that, but I'm sure I know it was Burmeister. Yeah, no shit. Come on, get out of here. Yeah. So, but yeah, that's man. There's Tyler's on here right now. Antonovich is on here right now saying he's too nice. Hey, I don't think I'm going to defend Tyler, and I've watched Tyler race a lot this year because I've been at PT so much indoor. I can tell you right now, I really think I don't think Tyler's a nice guy. I think Tyler's respectful, and that makes a difference. My opinion. A nice guy. How do I say this? A nice guy gets walked on. A respectful guy knows when to not let somebody walk on him. And I think that's Tyler. Burmeister. Or butter churner, as Kevin Smith says. So, yep, old Turbo. Turbo, yeah, they had a little bit of turbo. They had a little bit of boost last night. Last night's seating rounds, 400 boost. 35 pinion on a 5.0, plow through everyone because you only get 5 laps through everyone else. Man, it's seating, guys. It's seating. I don't know how do you fix that besides not run seating? It's going to happen every time unless you run single car seating and only give them 5 laps. You know what I mean? Yeah. Tommy says it there too. Just pill draw. Seating rounds work better in on-road or off-road when the field gets spread out. I don't think it works as well on oval. I agree with you, Tommy. Just pill draw. Yeah, I've never done pill draw, but I agree. Antonovich thinks that's a good idea, Tyler. Yeah. I don't know that that's, I don't think it's a bad idea. Tyler, you've only been on here a few times. What's your home track? Outdoor. They do it at Jacksonville. It's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, I knew Jacksonville did a bunch. It's different outdoors because the tracks are slow, get faster during the night. Indoor, the tracks are juiced up early and slow down to race on. Everywhere is your home track? Okay. Start qualifying the big 3 laps and put yourself in pull off. It's completely random with the pill draw. Yeah. So let's talk about Matt's comment right there, guys. The 27 or 30. I think there's probably a few more than that. I have to drive anywhere from 1.5 to 3 hours to race. Okay. I was just asking where you normally go. Like, if you were racing in a weekly points race, or if you were going to run a weekly schedule, where would you race normally? I understand that you have to drive. A lot of people do, but normally somebody like Scuba drives here an hour or 45 minutes every time to come race here, but this is his home track. Jeremy is the same way. He's got about a 45 minute to an hour drive here, but this is his home track. That's all I was asking. What do you guys think about what Matt says here? What if you qualify, put yourself by yourself, and then pull off 3 to 5 laps? We could do 5 because we're 10 scale and we want to be like big cars, so we don't want to be like big cars. What do you think of that? Oh, Scuba says 20 minutes. Sorry. He drives faster than I do, evidently. On the track and off. Where do you... A few guys don't think that's a good idea. What do you guys think of that, honestly? What do you guys think of 3 to 5 laps off? Who would be against trying it on a Friday night? Rick Taylor says, draw a number when you register, and that's where you start in the heats. Yes, that's pill draw. We used to do that in Infinity on Thursday Night Thunder races. 200 cars, 1 minute between the cars. That's a lot of time. Yeah. Well, so Ryan, I agree with you there, but I really think you could probably do it fairly quickly at a track like ours. You could you could have 8 guys ready to go, right? I mean, we're kind of lucky with how we did our pit road. But you could have 8 cars ready to go in the 9th and 10th and 12th behind, you know? Leighton worked okay, but still a waste of time. Okay. Hey, what's happening, Dan? Oh, we're talking RC shit, just like every Sunday. Leighton's worked, but okay. We lined the infield, Kevin said. Yeah. That's assuming yeah, that's no shit too, Joe. Agreed, 100%. You'd probably have to take 1. Although that would speed up your heats. You wouldn't have to do that bullshit for your heats, right? Yeah. I don't know. I just wondered. I'm a pill draw guy. Line up and send it into the day. Cream rises to the top. I agree with that too. Random draw heats. Heat 1, resort heat 2. Yeah. I don't know. Right. Ryan's agreeing with Joe and Rogue Race Concepts, the same thing. He said, yeah, that's another issue. How do you fix that? We should run a big car heat format. No loaded heats. Big guys spread out over the heats. Big car format at Limestone next weekend for the Rubber Tire Meltdown. We'll see how it works. Are you guys running seating? Weasel, are they running seating for Rubber Tire Meltdown? So did the seating time matter last night for a tiebreaker of the top seed? If not, seating was a waste of time. Give it a try. Mike says give it a try. Star goes, we might on a Friday night, Mike. We might here. Friday nights, Freedom Fridays are really pretty laid back. We really have a short number of cars, but if we do it, we'll have to figure out, we'll try to set up a deal, but like I say, transponders might be an issue, but we'll try to set something up and then try to get better with it if that's how we're going to try to do it. Random draw for heats, start straight up, first round, invert second round, you start on the pole, first race, you're on the tail of the second. This conversation is unique. Where else in the country do they have the entry numbers we have around? If tracks only had 40 cars nightly, the discussion wouldn't happen. We're spoiled with car counts. That ain't no shit, Ryan. That, I think really, and I wish Tyler was on here, Keel was on here to see what he had to say about the 109. 109 is a good number too, that they had. I don't know what they ran. I didn't look. I guess I still have it up. Hang on. Looks like they ran 2 rounds in a qualifier. Yeah, 2 qualifiers and a main is how they ran theirs last night at Taylor Park. So I just wonder how that worked for him. But you ain't shitting. We are spoiled, guys, with the number of cars we have here. And you guys that are going to start complaining that there's so many tracks in the outdoor world, remember, we have a lot of tracks here, but we also have a ton of drivers. And if tracks work together, we'll be okay this summer. So did the seating time matter? Responding to Jason Van Ice's question, he said not for the top seed, but it did come in play down the board. Ryan said it never does. First round's IFMAR, then you race your way in for the second round is what they're going to do. So I guess they're going to do IFMAR, and then the second round they're going to mix the fast guys up. Is that what you're saying, Weasel, for that? So don't be doing no sandbagging, guys. That's all I'm saying. I don't know, guys. I don't know that there's a right or wrong way. It's just very interesting to try to figure that stuff out sometimes. Yeah. Okay. Yep. There you go. Yep. I mean, I think it's going to be very unique. I think I'll be interested to see how they do it. I assume what they're going to do is 1-2s. So they'll go ones. If they have 2 heats, they're going to do number 1 and number 2 will go first in 1 and 2 heats, and then 3 will go second, and 4 will go second in the other heat. I assume that's how he's going to do it, by not putting the fast guys together. There's 100 ways, and not a single one is right, and not a single one is wrong. 100%, Kevin. Here's the only thing I can say, and I was told by a guy that races a lot and works on this junk we play with a lot. I don't care how the setup is done as long as it's done correctly. If you're running IFMAR, if you're running race points, if you're doing what Weasel says, where they're doing hybrid, where they're doing IFMAR, and then from the IFMAR, they're going to put you into heats to race your way in. I don't care, and I agree with this guy. I don't care how it's done. Just do it correctly, right? If you say that's how you're going to do it, make sure your shit's together. Make sure you as a track owner and promoter know it, and you do it that way. That's why we're running IFMAR, because I haven't ventured out enough. Hopefully next year track prep will be, or track repairs will be minimal, and I'll have more time to do the other stuff to make it not have to be IFMAR every time. So, but that's the difference. You know what I mean? Like, make sure your shit's on point if you're going to change how you're doing something. That's my only thing to say. But yeah, you just notice, back to the original question, we just noticed there's a lot of guys that are getting a little more antsy this time of year, and I think it's cabin fever, right? You're ready to get out and get things done, and you're trapped indoors for a whole winter. So, but as the numbers show, and I agree, the indoor tracks we have are badass. So at the end of the winter, or at the end of the summer, as we're getting ready to go into winter, guess what everybody's going to say? Man, I'm fucking tired of being outside. Let's go indoors. I'm tired of worrying about the weather. I'm tired of worrying about the bugs. It's getting cooler at night, and I'm over all this. Let's go indoors. So it's a vicious cycle we do every year, guys. So don't think this is anything new. Guys, let's get to the races coming up this week. We're a little late in the game for this, but we're going to do it anyway. What the hell? Go Fast got a club race. Go Fast is going to run club race this weekend. If you guys are over in that area, that's your home track, the track you enjoy going to the most, get over there and get that done. Those of you that are around and want to get up there to the Thunderdome, hang out or race, either one, there's your classes you got for the Triple Crown. This is the last race of the Triple Crown. So if you want to get that done, go up there, root on Scuba. We will not be in town. We will be up the Foamoville Nationals, so that doesn't work for us. So, but make sure you guys holler at Scuba, tell him good job if he wins, or when he wins that deal. I feel he'll win it. He's a damn good guy and good racer, so that'll probably happen. But we'll see what happens. We'll wait for the numbers to tell us while we're up in Wisconsin. But get up there to the Thunderdome, check them out, check out their banked oval. We'll talk to the guys up there, and we're going to rip from there, okay? Limestone has their rubber tire meltdown. We was just talking about it. They're running 2 qualifiers there. So they're running two heats. Okay, I see what it is. I'm sorry, I was looking at qualifiers as not being that, but okay. So they're running their heats. They're calling them qualifiers and heats. AI sometimes doesn't do exactly what it tell it to. $40 to get in, $25 on the next one. What? Hey, I was just talking about you. Somebody must have messaged you. Hold on, let me run through these and I'll talk to you. Hang on. Days. Crown Jewel. That's the finals, I think, for that race, too, that series too. So if I'm not mistaken, Slideways Crown Jewels Point Series, that's the finals for that. Here's where we're going to be. Foam Oval Nationals, 27th, 28th. We are going up and hanging out. Low C NASCARs will be running up there on the foam track. Guys, it's not foam tires, it's a foam track. And 1RC. So we'll go up there and hang out with those guys. I might do live for a little bit down there. Hang out with them guys and see what's going on. But man, Dave's a good dude, and I like to support his stuff. It all goes right back to charity. So how can you not, go take care of that deal? So, all right, guys, here we are. How did it go for you guys with 108 or 109 entries? How did it go this weekend? That's what I was asking. I wasn't talking shit about you, but I was asking. How was it? First, and also, congratulations. That's a good turnout for your first weekend out. And good job with that. Jason Van Ice, while you're answering that, we'll go some more. Jason Van Ice says maybe save seating and qualifying for the big, I can't say that word, races and not club races. Nobody cares who won TQ, only mains count in the end. Says 6 from race times should make the mains. Terry Stanley says at times I've noticed seatings be helpful for new people coming to the track for the first time, getting into appropriate heats. Yeah, I think it does maybe help a little bit with skill level. Terry, I think that's kind of where you're at. And if that's the case, I agree with that. But if you IFMAR it, you're going to probably end up being the right way anyway, I feel. The slower guys are going to be kicked to the back, and you're going to go from there. Or to a different main as you, if you resort by time, which is how I do it. Not saying I'm right, just how I do it. Oh my, Tyler Kill, you asking you should, yeah, see? Whoever sent him the message, thank you. We're talking IFMAR and race points and seating, Tyler, is where it all came in. You being an off-road guy, obviously understanding that more than some that are not big in the off-road side. Understanding why the seating, but and if oval's important or not. Hopefully you got all the rules handled for all the guys. I seen you had some comments about some rules. I hope you got all them handled. Guys, the 5 tracks that are, oh my. I should have just brought you on tonight. Thought about it, but Tyler said it was great. Track was amazing thanks to amazing board members and super smooth and fast. Everyone had a good time. I've heard nothing but good things. We had a few hiccups getting back in the groove of running the computer and the new announcers, getting new announcers comfortable calling races, but we'll dial that in. Of course you will. That's all part of the game. That's why I call my first race the shit show, because you're always going to have something, right? But they'll keep getting better. 96 degrees in late March was unexpected, but we did the best we could with the conditions we had. Well, yeah, that's kind of crazy. What do you guys run? Do you guys run IFMAR or race points? But that's good, man. You guys had a good turnout. Like I say, I didn't look last night. I looked this morning, or I just looked while we were on here to see your number, and that's a hell of a turnout. So good job on your first one back in. We'll see how that turnout comes in October. Rocket rounds, races. Yeah. I don't know. Heads up. Yep. I don't know, man. It's so hard. I understand it, but like I say, I'm doing IFMAR because I'm comfortable with it. Not right, wrong, just the way it is. But yeah, I don't foresee any seating in Kempton's future, even with the big number. Just doesn't think. Kevin Smith says, I think the only issue I have with IFMAR or fastest time go to the A is I feel like we start to alienate the new guys getting trying to go faster. Listen, if you can constantly have the same 6 on top of the board, yes, you'll work harder, but you don't have a couple guys sneak through to get a couple heat wins. So Ryan says, got to be an AC tent headed that direction in October, just in case. Yeah, no kidding. We get out there in October and it's 110. We're all going to be pissed. Tyler says, IFMAR makes sense if your racers understand it. At bigger oval races, I think it's better. At points nights and club rates, let the boys race. Yeah, like I said before, I think before you got on here, Tyler, I don't have a problem with that as long as they're run correctly. Yeah, and I agree with that. Not that our racers don't understand it as he's defending his racers, but it's just a lot to think about as your casual racer. Yeah, and I mean, I think as people understand it, it just widens their horizon of how to do it. Once I understand race points more, which I'm sure I can if I just took my time to do it, but I think we will probably switch it here and there because I think guys should have both. But the beautiful thing with us, and you've done it this year too out there, is you can go to another track, you're probably going to run race points somewhere else. You go to Brad's, you're running race points. So you get 30 minutes from us, 40 minutes from my track, you're racing race points at Brad's. So Farmers, I think they're running race points also. So, I'm kind of the odd man out on the IFMAR side, but that's fine. I'm the odd man out on a lot of shit. Wait till the wall pictures come out. People be like, what the hell did you do? Cobblestone in an RC car doesn't work real well usually. But yeah, I think that's good. I think that's part of the gig. I think the different mix up, let guys understand it more and learn more is fine as long as everybody does what they're supposed to do and the process works correctly. But that's what's up. So, but like I said, the only reason you got brought up is because you guys had a good turnout. I was wondering what you thought. The race points argument is always that it's like real cars. Well, who the hell crashes 5 guys on purpose to win the heat race in the real cars? Agreed. Just wait till the JCon race at BB Mods. His format will, God, have you scratching your head. Jesus. Yeah. Oh God. I don't even know if I want to know, but here's the only problem I have with that, Jake, and I don't even know what he's doing, and more power to him. I just hope he explains it well enough that everybody knows. Caden says almost went bald last year. Yeah, if I would just like to, as long as people know it, you know what I mean? I like how it's based off the race you're in. Don't worry about track prep, etc. But then you have to have a tiebreaker and it gets complicated. Yeah, Tony had way more hair before he wanted to build this podcast up 6 months. Yeah, no shit. Yeah. Yep. There's a whole lot of pulling hair out around here, I promise you. My problem is I'm an all or nothing. I'm you know what I mean? Like, if we're going to do this deal, let's do it. You know what I mean? And if, just like the track this year, you know what I mean? I think we're making one hell of an upgrade, but damn, it's a lot of work and also time and money. Tyler says, I did too, Ryan, before I decided being president of Taylor Park was a good idea. Yeah. Man, you ain't kidding. Yep. I don't know how to explain it, but I like the trackside format. Kind of like Caden's driving all or nothing. Yep, 100%. Me and Caden, we're all in or we're all out. And Ryan's congratulating Keel on doing a good job. Yeah, I mean, I follow it a little bit. I think it's good too. I think you guys will be all right. Just keep doing your deal. So I guess, hey, what's up, Brian? I see you liking. So correct me if I'm wrong though. So how they did it, right? I'm trying to think. So how they did it was, I think how they did it was IFMAR, but it was points, right? Off your IFMAR. Had to show the old man that car, his car was way better than mine last. Yeah. So, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't that right, Ryan? So they did IFMAR, but trackside is IFMAR, but each round is separate. So race points for combined round, then repeat. Just IFMAR, best 2 out of 3. Yeah. But you got points for the 2 out of, so you got points for where you were in the IFMAR. So if you were fastest, you got 0. As you worked your way down, you got points, right? Danta, isn't that correct? And then you've got 2 rounds. They combine those, and then that's where you started. IFMAR with points for overall finish per round was how they did the JCon Winter Nats at the dirt floor. I believe that's how, essentially how they did it. Yeah. If there's 50 guys, 1 to 50 per each round. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So I think that's kind of how Tyler's talking about it. They did it dirt floor too, right? Once you get combine your best 2 rounds and drop your worst. Yeah. Yep. And you could do that with 2 rounds. I mean, why couldn't you do that with 2 rounds? Would that not be as good? If you just did a 1-day show with 2 rounds, would that be weird? Would that be weird? Anybody else thinks that? Does everybody understand it first? And then guys that understand, like Danta and Ryan, obviously understand it. And Tyler, would that be weird for just 2 rounds of 2 heats? Don't know. That's why I'm asking. Would that be weird for 2 rounds? And then just do the same thing? Yeah. But if it was only 2 rounds and no drops, kind of confusing first, but now it makes sense looking back. Yeah, I mean, it's really, if you explain it well enough, I think it's really pretty simple. I know it's very confusing at the duels also for guys that didn't understand, but once guys explained it, it got very, very understanding. So the track change, it's kind of like what Attitude's doing, right? And at the Foam Oval Nationals, I'm going to try to talk to Aaron about that, but I think it's kind of been the same thing. So if you had a bad round, you were kind of fucked. If you only had 2, you would be, well, you'd still be in the middle, 20 guys. If you finished first in the first one, you got knocked out early and you were 20, you'd be in the middle, you'd be a 10. But that's how it goes in real racing, yeah. Right? Is that correct? And then up there, if you had a 1, a 3, and a 20, you could drop your 20 and you'd be a 2. Well, you'd add your points, you'd be 4, and then figure that out. But 2 rounds, I would have been 7th in the late model car. I was trying to figure out, wasn't fair to the guy who knew what they were doing. Yeah, you just happen to luck into that deal. Sounds like IFMAR Rocket Rounds is at least confusing. Fastest guy is TQ. Yeah. I don't know that's. Yeah, I don't know. Just seems. I think if you do it, it's a one and done deal. Just try something different. If you wanted to use IFMAR still to do that. I've asked on here a ton of times if we didn't have a system, what would be the best, and I don't know that there's anybody that has that answer. You know what I mean? I talked to Jamie up there a little bit about the system because he's so familiar with it, being a beta tester for him, and it was good to talk to him about it. But there's just some stuff the system can't do, and there's other stuff that there's some stuff the system can't do, and there's some stuff they don't care if it does or not. You know what I mean? Ryan says, I didn't crash, never spun, and was 3/10 off the pace. Back and look, but I had. Tyler says, I'd have to go back and look, but I had like a 5 and a 7 overall, but won both my heats. So I thought originally it would be like the Chili Bowl, and I had 2 1s, but I somehow qualified 6th. Finished 2nd behind Dean, so it worked out. So did they take the average of your 2 then to put you 6th qualifier? I don't know. Like I said, I don't care. Like, I just think somebody has to really sit down and talk about how your system, if you're going to run something off the wall, and I think you probably need to make sure everybody that there understands it. Thanks for listening, In My Opinion. Don't forget to join us live every Sunday at 7 p.m. Central on Kempton Speedway Facebook page. Catch our highlight show dropping Wednesdays on RCU Radio's YouTube, Spotify, and all major platforms. Please like, share, and subscribe. We appreciate your support, and I'll see you next time.